So far, I have explained the entire program line wise, bit wise. I think most of you understand every bit of that. And if you are a beginner, definitely you will be in a position to write the program. Of course, being a beginner, you may commit small mistakes. That's not a big issue. That is very common. But where you are committing error and all that, there you focus. And the same type of error should not be repeated in the next programs. That point you have to remember. However, some students may not grasp it fully because they are being beginners. That's why I explain this program in a hands-on approach, hands-on explanation. Hands-on explanation means if I would be in your position, how I would have written the program. Just to think of, in the same manner, I write every bit of the thing by the same program. And to produce that output, how I write, all that you grasp, and you also should follow the same procedure. This is the professional approach. Why I have given that? Now, first, with reference to the output only, you have to write the program. Because what for you are developing program to generate that output. That's why here I have given biodata. But in other cases, they may not given. Write a small Python program to produce your biodata. They may ask like that. Then this type of contents here, for the sake of simplicity, only 3 items I put. After third or fourth program, I give complete biodata. So in such case, the first thing what you have to do before typing your code, you have to write this manually like this. By that, you can have 100% clarity over that. Not only contents of the program and format, in which format you have to give, you can easily understand. That is very important. That is like our destination. Okay. Now, I write the same program and as a student, then you grasp how I am writing and all that. So, what I told you, first we have to start with a comment. So, it is a convention. It is a convention means if you don't write the comment, the program gives the same result. But why should we write means, already I told you, if you don't write the chapter heading, what will happen? Content is same. But why you are writing chapter headings and subheadings? What for you are writing and the same purpose you have to write here. By that, simply the reader, whoever reads your program, by seeing the comment, they can understand what is the purpose of this. By simply seeing the chapter name, you are able to understand what are the contents in the chapter. So, here what I told you, PFG, actually this is very useful for you because we are going to perform 100 plus programs in the this one and project zone. So if you don't give appropriate name and all that, it is very difficult for you to locate one particular program, whatever you want. So program to prepare your biodata like this. What is the appropriate one? Right. Otherwise, my biodata, I don't mind. So thereafter, how many elements are there? 3 elements are there. So here 3 input values we have to give. If you don't give input values and all that, how your program can know? This is your matter. Your program do not know. You have to provide it. How can you provide it? You can provide it from keyboard. If you are able to provide it through keyboard, who can read? Input function can read. That point you have to understand. A function is like a specialist in real life, like a painter, carpenter, doctor, teacher, etc. and all that. That point I have to already explain. And input, the function itself is telling what it is doing. Input and beside every function name, 2 brackets are there. That indicates it is a function. So first one, what you have to read? You have to read your name. So always give names. Names for all the variables. Names for all the variables. So here, can you give full form or short form? That you get it out. Any form you give. It may be a big form or small form. No objection. But whatever you give, the reader should understand. Suppose if I don't give like this, how can a reader understand? Suppose if I give N, NA, NM, even NAM also, people cannot understand. In such case, we have to give full name only. Okay, now name I have given. Then what happens? Who can read? Input function. These are all lowercase only. You should not use cases as you like. Certain conventions are there. According to conventions, in most cases, we use lower case letters. And as far as comment is concerned, that is for readability. So you can write as you like. That is not an issue. But these are programming issues. So these should be written in lower case and input thereafter. Okay, input. This is enough. But if you write like this, a user have to enter some data. How he is guided? So that point you have to keep in mind. So you have to give a prompt statement. Prompt statement is a string. Enter your name. This is the prompt statement. Always recall one thing, already bank ATM. Bank ATM, for every step you do, it guides you. Because of that prompt statement only, you are able to use ATM. Just imagine one case, the prompt statements are not seen, but ATM is working, prompt statements are not seen. Already you might have used it many times, but you may fail to use that. That's why prompt statements are very, very important. You write them in a simplified manner. Only thing is, however you write, nobody bothers. You use uppercase, lowercase, or anything, but they should guide the user what he has to do. So that's why prompt statement you write. Always remember that it should be written as a string. String means a collection of characters. Collection of characters are called string, and always they should be enclosed in a pair of single quotes. That point you remember, and if you don't do that, it leads to error. Okay, so name you are able to read. Now, as a result of that, what happens? You must understand that. Now, as soon as you write the statement, one box is created, one container, because your name should be stored somewhere. Where it is stored? Not in the air. It is in the computer memory. Computer memory, one space is allocated, and its name is name, and it should have a name. It is called variable. 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 In that, your name is stored. Okay, why it is called variable? Suppose one time you entered your name is Arjun. So Arjun is stored here. After that, Raju may enter his name, same program. Then Arjun is replaced and Raju comes. After Raju, Kumar may enter his name. So what is happening? The the container is same. Every time, whenever a new user uses that, the name is changed. That's why it is called variable. You should not think it as in mathematical sense. Variable means always think of a named container. A container is having a name. Okay, that point you have to understand. And number two is what? Age. Age. What name you give? Now, one thing I am telling you: if you don't have any short name, if you cannot give any short name, means if you give short name, it is not meaningful. You must give complete name also. Suppose age you take, A, people cannot understand. AG, people cannot understand. Then in such case, what should you give? You must give age only. So, age. Next, input. What prompt statement you write? Enter your age. Which letters I am using capital C, just to see that. Then it looks better. But if you give all lowercase also, it is there. But don't use that. Just recall bank ATM. According to that you give. So this is called title case. Title case means all prime words we give uppercase. Now, what is the third one? Height. Now we see height instead of complete name. If you write HGT, people can understand at least by By context, one can understand that. So then you can use short names. One thing, giving names is not so easy thing. That's why always you must give appropriate name. It may be short or full. People should understand that. Whoever reads our program should understand. So what you write? Input, enter your height. Here complete this thing you write. Here you complete one you write. Here writing short names is not good. Now one thing, alignment also you see. You should, your code should look elegant. That point you have to understand. It is like your handwriting. If your handwriting is good, generally you get the first impression of the people. Whoever, people may not know you. Simply seeing your handwriting, immediately they get a first impression. In the same manner, in programming, there is no handwriting. Even though now we see, if you write them like elegantly, then it looks a first impression. And here one more thing already I told you, side headings like, what is this? Input section. Like that you write. All these are conventions. All these elements give you, the others give you good impression on you. That's why you write all these are all conventions you should follow. Now all that three containers are filled. Suppose if you enter values and all that, automatically containers are there. Those are meant for this. One first container's name is name, second container's name is age, third container's name is height. Those are three variables we have created. Now here one line gap we give. Because after every section one line gap we give, that's good. Why you know? Why in a textbook or document you see? Why paragraph division they make? Because of that the readability is improved. So it looks better. That's why like paragraph division, here also after one section you give a line gap. That is always good. Now we have to write a print statement. Print function is meant for displaying the output. So strictly with reference to this you write print statements. How many print statements are required? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 print statements are required. Then you write that. Print. Okay. First what you want to write? Now all these are strings. This is a string. One line. Line you can use dashes or underscore. Normally dashes are better. Next. Print. What is required? Biodata is required. Biodata where you want to present in the center. That's why you write them center. Later I tell you some techniques, and by that automatically those are pushed to center. Those techniques I'll tell you. First primary style of the program you understand. Now what happens? Next one more line is there. Just with reference to that. Next print. Here one thing is there. This is label. This is variable. Variable. Now label. What is that? What label? Name. This as a string we write. Thereafter a separator we write. Now suppose you enter name as Arjun. Where it is stored? Here this is stored. Then that is that variable name exactly you have to write. Exactly whatever is there, same spelling, same case you have to write. This is a string. This is not a string. This is a variable. Next, what is there? Print. What is there? Age. Here also you see the columns like aligned way you put. Here age. Why? What spelling you have written? That only same thing, case, same case. Next, print. What you are expecting? Height. Okay. Now here see, for the label sake you have written height, but variable sake what you have written? HGT. That only right. Here if you write differently and all that, it leads to error. Thereafter print. What you are expecting? Finally line, that is a string. Okay. Now entire code is ready. These 7 lines, these are 3, 10 plus 11 lines program, simple program, but you should not fail at any cost. That is my objective, because first impression is the best impression. You never have any second chance to get first impression. First impression in the first instance you have to get. That's why almost I have given a an hour explanation for this for a simple program. So one thing, don't read as simple and all that. The same elements, similar elements you are using in all further programs. That point you have to understand and then proceed. But one thing, you watch my lecture twice, thrice and all that, but while typing don't copy. One request, while typing don't copy. Without copying that you type. You commit errors, no problem at all. In programming, errors are not your enemies, errors are your friends. Because by committing every error, you will have an opportunity to learn, provided you have integrity. Programmers should have perseverance and integrity. Otherwise, lazy people never evolve as a programmer. That point always you remember. And this is your first task and complete it. Take your own time.